Welcome back to my balcony build. Now, on this build, we're checking out the layout of how we want the NOT system to basically sit on top of the fish tank. So I also want to get an idea of how many levels I'm dealing with. Originally, it was supposed to be 3 levels, and that is the general idea. So the 3 levels that we have in mind, this is just basically seeing what the height proportion is looking like. So as you can see, I'm using cable ties to basically prop up my system, just to get an idea of what it's going to look like, and also just to get an idea as well of the height that I need my down pipes to be. So as you can see, I'm measuring my down pipe. This is the 20mm pipe, which I'm going to cut in half, and then I'm going to use that for all the water that needs to go down the system. I figured this is the best size pipe to use, so that I'm also not having too much water flow going through. Instead, it regulates moving from big to small to big to small. It will regulate the flow of water, and it will also allow me a little bit of wiggle room if I just need to change things here and there. Right, now I'm going to be marking out the holes where I want to have my first NFT net pots put, because the level I'm working with on the first row is very small. I think I can only do about 3 net pots, but I'd rather have net pots in there as opposed to not having anything in there. So I'm going to take down my system, and I'm just going to mark out and kind of drill holes where I want those net pots to be, so I can just continue measuring, marking, making sure I know what I need where, so when I actually do start drilling, I am not guessing, because I've already pre-planned. Okay, now I'm measuring my net pots just to make sure that the drill bits that I'm using is indeed the correct size, and I'm just going to drill marker holes and radius holes so I have an idea of how big the holes are, and then I'll come back and drill the proper holes later. Now I'm going to connect my 310mm pipes together with the 32mm drop pipes in between them. This is so I have an idea of what the system is going to look like, the height proportions that I'm dealing with in between each NFT system, as well as measuring out just to make sure that in terms of the pipes themselves, are they level, so that the water travel that I'm looking at getting is indeed the way that I want it to go. In some cases, I do want to have a gradient just to keep water flowing. It's not stagnant in certain areas. So this is what the cable ties allow me to do, that little bit of adjustment here and there, that measurement, just to make sure that in terms of what I have in my head, I can actually see coming out onto this particular project. Alright, now that I've marked out how many holes my NFT system is going to consist of, we can start the drilling for the net pots. And I'm going to be drilling each pipe just to make sure that we get all the drilling out of the way, and I can connect the system, see what it looks like with all its holes. It's always important to make sure that your holes are equally spaced out. This is so that your plants have enough room to grow. You don't want the holes too close together that when the plants start to grow they don't have enough space, and then you get all sorts of unnecessary pest issues, or they just stop growing because the growth is stunted. Another reason why you want to have them spaced out is because the root system, when that starts growing, it's going to start clogging up the pipe. So if they're too close together, you're going to have a case where you're going to be creating a tiny dam. So always make sure that you create enough spacing in between your holes.